What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 4. And overall this episode was really fun, really cool. There was some nice, interesting development with not only Bakugo and some of the stuff where you kind of see some stuff from him when he's talking to the new kid, but also from Endeavor, more seeds planted for the Endeavor Redemption arc in Season 5, which I'm hyped for, but you guys already know what I think of that. Speaking of which, Hiroaka's in a bit of hot water as of late because of what happened, because of the name of a doctor. If you guys want to know what I thought of it, I'll put Chibi's video up in the iCards book, because that's pretty much what he says is about what I would say, and I'm not a manga reader, so, I'll just leave everything to him. If you guys want to check that out, check that out. But yeah, man, and also, can we also say that Aoyama is probably the weirdest dude in My Hero Academia? Like, this kid's just straight up fucking strange, man. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we get there. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this review. So we start this off with the kids showing off their powers, and we see one of the kids fire off like their bigging ball thing, that's what he called it, that took off like half a Bakugo's mask. Another kid fires off some smoke. And then some other ones fire off some more of their other attacks, and Bakugo and the others are just kind of standing there, and they're like, Masaka, how are they scared of our power? And between all this, we get the present Mike. The dude is just in shock and awe of the kids' power, of these kids, how powerful their quirks are, because they do are some pretty powerful quirks. I'll give him that. He's like, when I was at their age, I couldn't do anything like that. I think he said physically, mentally, or legally, I think is what he said. And then you got Shinji, or Shinki, or whatever his name is, Meat. And he tells them that there's a theory out there called the quirk singularity doomsday theory, that because of all these quirks mixing and matching, quirks becoming stronger as the generations go by, that one day there's going to be some other quirk so powerful that they won't be able to control it. And he's kind of getting fearful seeing these kids' as power levels. And then you got the teacher, who I'm sure put the fucking fear of God in this woman. She's like, oh no, it's my fault. And she goes off to tries to go off to I don't know, do what. But President Mike said, whoa, hold down there, girl. They got this. Sit down, and she takes a seat. We also see some stuff with Grand Orca where he just scares the living daylights out of these kids. I'm fucking loving Gang Orca, and it's definitely become one of my favorite supporting characters in Hero Waka, at least from the hero side, the guys that we don't see that often. I'm really digging Gang Orca, and I hope we see more of him. I'm loving him, man. He's so funny. I love him. He's so entertaining to watch. So anyway, then the kids fire off their attacks again. This time Bakugo and the others just kind of block them, and that's when when the girl fires off one of her attacks, she fires this heart-shaped thing towards Todoroki. Todoroki then blows her kids, and it's super romance anime like I love you. I want to see more of your cute face. Don't spoil it with wrinkles. And she's like, I want. She has hearts in her eyes. Then it just turns out that Todoroki was actually Cammy, and she's like, Christ, just talk like Cammy. I feel like I'm gonna get a fucking aneurysm. She's like, that's probably someone you would like someone to say to you, right? And our school is so old-fashioned that they don't like that. They don't like dating. Lasai. Let's legit what the subtitles say. Lasai. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But then we find out what her quirk is, and it's called Glamour, I think it's what it's called. And she can pretty much create illusions. So it's kind of similar to what we saw back in Season 3, but not exactly. She, instead of her being able to shapeshift, she can just create illusions. She's essentially Mysterio, which I wouldn't be surprised if that was the inspiration for Horiko's, because we know he's a Masamaro guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mysterio was the inspiration for Cammy's quirk. So anyway, then we see Bakugo later doing it. I think he's just trying to imitate Todoroki, and he's like, I want to see more of your cute face. And he's like, and he's just laughing his ass off. And Todoroki's just sitting there pondering and was it really that funny? And so And Yasa gets involved. He puts all the kids in the air, and says like, "Oh, you're showing off your powers like this means you still got a long ways to go." And then Todoroki actually takes all these shapes or stuff that's in the air, ices them, and then which turns them into like a slide, like an ice slide. And one of the kids has just started sliding again. You see a few of the other kids just sliding. They're like, "Oh wow, it's cool." Then and then one of the other kids at his quirk was like hula hoop rings, where they look like the rings where they like kind of like laser hula hoops. And there are like 3 of them lined up somewhere in the slide. Todoroki lights them on fire as the kids are sliding down it. And everyone's just like, "Oh, sugoi!" You know, they think it's awesome. And a bunch of the other kids want to get involved. They're like, "Oh," and then Totoro's like, "Oh, get in the line." Oh, that's one thing. Takami uses her quirk and she like fires off her mist in the air, which actually turns the sky into an aurora borealis, just to add to the whole atmosphere. And it did look pretty cool, honestly. It looked cool. So then we see Bakugo. He looks over at the slide, and he tells them that we need to make them go ooh and wow, but not. And he also mentions that if you're defeated by an opponent that you look down on, it makes you feel like crap. Like I mentioned before, this is definitely some self-reflection on Bakugo's part, because remember how Bakugo has always been throughout all of Shirawaka with Izuku. He's always like, "Izuku's a dog. Izuku is nothing to me." And then remember all the times where Izuku got kinda better than him, or he starts to get stronger than him. He's always like raging and feels like shit, you know. And then there's everything with season 3. With that's the whole reason that they fight in like the end of season 3, you know. So I love the little small little developments Horikoshi or subtle development Horikoshi's been giving Bakugo since season 3. I've really dug it. I really like the self-reflection here, as what happens on later on the episode, a little bit later on. So from there, and then we see, then he looks in, and then Inyasa and Todoroki kind of like that we need to work together, and if we I forget the exact wording, but it was like that they pretty much need to work together, that if they don't like learn how to like work together, right, that they're gonna put them on the same path as what Inyasa and Todoroki are, where they're gonna put other people in danger like they did at the end of season 3, you know. And they're like, us working together and using our quirks together, it's like, to make this little slide for the kids is what we can do to help them out. I know that's probably like a close justification. I didn't really get the phrasing right, but that was kind of close enough to what happened there. We also see the kid, once the slides are rebuilt and the kids are just enjoying themselves, he's like, "Masaka," he's like, "Oh, how I am superior to these adults. I can play the piano better than them. They're nothing but filth to me." And then we see Bakugo come up towards the kid, and he literally grabs him by the arm and he tells him that you're getting on there too. And he's like, "What? Let go. Why won't you let go of me?" He says, "You're the leader, right?" And he gives him some advice. He tells him, "Stop. If you keep looking down on everyone, you won't see your own weakness." If that ain't self-reflection on Bakugo's part, I don't know what is, man. And that, my friends, is some damn good character development. So once again, props to my man, Horikoshi. So after we get to that little development of self-reflection from Horikoshi, or from Bakugo, I should say, he tells him, he's like, "Baldy!" He's like, "Baldy, Todoroki!" He puts him up on the slide. The kid tells him, like, "Oh, those words are from the heart, so of course they would affect me." He has like tears in his eye. And the teacher's just like, "How? These naughty children." And yet they're now kind of like normal now. And you see the kids return Bakugo's gauntlets. They also, Cammy and the girl that pinched her ass got to make up a bit. And Todoroki's kind of like with just some of the other kids. And also President tells that that now it's up to you. Now it's your turn, and to train or raise these kids well. And she says she will. So after that, we head outside. We had outside, and then Cammy, and then first off, you see Inyasa and Todoroki are starting to get to know each other, and they're starting to gel together a bit. They're starting to become friends, so that's gonna be cool to see. But I just love this interaction between Cammy and Bakugo. My God, do I ship these two hard now? So Cammy's like, "Hey Bakugo, you'd be cool if you try shutting up more." So she starts shutting up me. Then Bakugo tells her, "You shut up," and I'm just like, I ship this, man. Like, this works. This legitimately works. So for all of you little rocket ships, please use your brains and realize, that shit don't make no goddamn sense. Cammy makes more sense. Please, please, I'm begging you on that, because literally, you got brains, people. Use them. Anyway, so Cammy goes over to Shinji or Shenki or whatever the hell dude's name, and she asks her like, what are they talking about? Because he's talking with Aoyama, and they're saying, we're talking about you dunce. And they mention how that because the League of Villains are starting to attack something other that school that's not UA, and since they don't have really much of a connection to UA, that they're going to start working on maybe having a partnership together, and they're going to be working together a little bit more, and even having joint training. We're going to see a lot more of them, which we will once we hit the winter arc. So that's going to be hype. I can't wait to see more Cammy and Bakugo. That's going to be fucking legendary. And then we get to this really awesome moment here between Bakugo, or Todoroki, and Endeavor. And like I mentioned before, there's more seats planned for the Endeavor Redemption arc next season. And then Endeavor, like, you know, he's like, and then you can genuinely Endeavor's trying to be a better father for Todoroki, and he says, Shoto, long time no see. And he tries to put his hand on his shoulder. And he tells him like he did a good job, and he tries to put his hand on his shoulder. Todoroki slaps him away, and he says, I don't want to hear. And the look at Todoroki's face, look like he wanted to fucking kill him, you know. And then he tells him that he's going to train to become a father that he can be proud of. That you can be proud of the father, that your father, and he also tells him that he's proud of him. And that's when he's still trying to put his shoulder, and that's when he slaps him. But then he tells him that I'm going to try and be a better father, or I'm going to be a father that you can be proud of. That is the number one hero. And Todoroki starts looking down and like putting his arm, starts rubbing his back on the neck, like, do whatever you want. Like, he starts going a bit tsundere on there, which was nice to see, man. I like to see that. And then you see Yasa in the background. He then punches himself and marches towards Endeavor, and he says, Endeavor! And he says, I'm going to be cheering you on. And then you see Endeavor's face. Endeavor looks like a completely different person here, man, and I like it. Like, the look on Endeavor's face was so soft. Like, compared to his usual expression, because the dude always looked angry and pissed off. But here, he actually looked kind of approachable. Like, the smile on his face was a very welcoming smile. I looked at it and I'm like, damn, that's a good looking smile right there, Endeavor. You should smile more often. You look a lot less menacing this way. Which was the case. And it looked really cool. And he just says, you know, thank you. And I'm probably gonna put that smile on the thumbnail because that's how good it was. Like, I am definitely I'm as excited for the Endeavor Redemption arc as I am scared shitless of it. But it's gonna be good. I can tell with all this little small setup and seeds planted for the arc right here, that's definitely gonna be a good arc when we get there in season 5, and I'm definitely hyped to see that. See ya, man. Afterwards, everyone starts going their separate ways, and that's when we head back to UA, and we see Aoyama is a bit of a stalker. So, first off, once we get to UA, they mention that they go after everything was said and done with Ternina and everything. Now it's now October, so we're nearing the winter stuff, which I'm looking forward to the winter stuff. That's gonna be fun. Now that I really know, like, one thing that happens in the winter, other than we're gonna see Cammy and the others some more. That's like legit all I know. I'm just gonna be hyped just to see them in their winter outfits. That's gonna be fun because I've seen a couple manga panels of it. Anyway, so they mentioned how not Aoyama. We'll get to Aoyama in a second, but because everything happened with Sir Night-Eye, that they attended his funeral and that they talked about it with the rest of the hero agencies about what went down, and they have decided that it's kind of like a wait and see kind of thing on whether or not they're going to allow the kids to keep doing the work site things, and that Caterpillar, I believe that's his name, is now taking over for Sir Night-Eye. I'm surprised it's not Bubble Girl. I've expected her to be second to be right next, but hey. Whatever. I was hoping let's go over Bubble Girl because I really like her design. But anyway, so yeah, and we got it was the one that was kind of weird about the season because everyone else is in in traditional funeral wear, black dresses, suit and tie, black. While all the UA kids are still in their school uniforms, which kind of contrasts with the rest of the outfits. But anyway, whatever. So then we see the kids doing some math problems and some schoolwork. Izuku, they're visiting this math formula that I have never even seen before. It's from ectoplasm. And Izuku raises his hand. He legit Momo, and even Tokuyama mentions that even Momo's kind of stumped by this shit. So this shit's hard if even Momo's stumped by it. But you see Izuku, he's furiously, feverishly writing the answer down. And he raises his hand up. And he says the answer. I think it was was it 278 over 14,000? I think it was. I don't even remember the number. And he says wrong. Then Momo answers the question, and they mention how Neta tells him, "Oh, you were close, Izuku." So then, then we see Uraraka be like, "Oh, Deku, you look so into it for the occasion." Ida's like, "Yes, focusing on your studies, good." Ida. Then, excuse me. While Izuku is talking, Aoyama literally just puts this piece of cheese right in his mouth. Not completely, but it's like right, but he places it in there. And they're just like, and he's just like, surprise. And he's like, ah! And the cheese falls into his mouth. He's like, what? Cheese? And he says, like, oh, yes, I'm not even trying to say the name. It's some French cheese. He says that it's a smooth, mild cheese. And then, so then, Ida invites him, because right before that, Izuku asks, or Ida asks him, like, let's go over to eat some of Lunch Rush's food. So, and then Ida extends an invitation to Aoyama, like, hey man, you want to join us for lunch? And he says, no, none of the food here agrees with me. Then, because he's French, I guess, this man this is some fucking JoJo Part 5 type shit. Like, remember in the beginning of Part 5 when, fucking, Mista was like, had like this little bag thing with some food for fucking Sex Pistols, and while they're looking for this guy, looking for the guy that's responsible, because they're like, this is when they first looking over for Popo's treasure, and he's just standing there like cutting some fucking salami and shit. That's what's going on. He's doing over these three little pieces of meat, and he's just sitting there too while drinking a glass of wine. Yeah, this kid's fucking 14 years old, 15, 16 years old, and he's drinking fucking wine. How is this even legal? What the hell even is the drinking age in Japan? I'll have to look that shit up later on, because I want to know how the hell this dude's drinking some fucking wine while he looks like such a massive pompous prick. Like, if you want to look like a pompous douchebag, do what Aoyama has, have these small little pieces of meat, and drink a big glass of wine. Fucking ridiculous, man. And he's like, alright, not everyone has their own taste, so I won't force you. So then they leave. Izuku mentions this is when the weird shit starts happening. So Izuku, he's in bed, sitting there, sleeping, mind his own damn business. Then Aoyama comes in there, and he's just looking out of the window, looking like a fucking stalker, being like, Then this smile appears on his face. Then he drops this little bag thing and walks off, or sneaks off. Izuku just sits there with his eyes closed, sweating more, because he could tell the dude wasn't actually sleeping. He looks over the window, and in there, it has a bunch of fucking cheese that's spelled in kanji. I know, and Izuku's like, cheese! Oh my god, man, it's fucking ridiculous. Then, afterwards, Ida's telling Izuku, it's almost time for class, don't run, but go expect you. And then you got Uraraka behind him, cheering Izuku on. And then you got then he says, you safe, you just bailed me with a minute left this me, and fucking Uraraka is like stretching her arms out, doing like the same thing you see in baseball, First off, I guess, how the fuck can you not share Uraraka with Izuku after a moment like this, man? Like, come on now. These two are fucking perfect, but I digress. Then Izuku walks in there, and he mentions and narrates that he didn't get any sleep because the shit Aoyama pulled is stalker shit. He opens the door, and then Aoyama just looks at him, being like, surprise, and winks at him before Izuku just kind of like tries to get back to his death. And then he mentions how he never really talked to Aoyama, and that Aoyama really doesn't talk to anyone. He's someone that just goes by the beat of his own drum. Says what he wants when he wants, and that's kind of the image he has. So then we get to Kaminari, and Kaminari tells him and asks him about shows him this little thing about Mountain Lady and Kamiya Wood, I think his name was. I forget the dude we saw back in like the first episode, and we asked him like, what is the rating? And Kaminari tells him all ages. I'm like, fam, what do you think? I was gonna show you some fucking hentai? And it's an article saying that she's teaming up with him and some other hero. and they're called like the Lurkers, I think is what their name was. So yeah, and then Mina is like, oh, we should team up when we become bros, and she goes on with Uraraka and some of the other girls that Kabanari and Minette acting like, what about us? And she's like, we don't need ya. And then the whole treasure like, oh, it's not just about quirks, it's about personality compatibility too. And then Toru says like, you're just making them worse, you know. And so then we head over to the gym for them to work on their training and everything with their team up, with their just to work on their special moves if they don't already have them. And so Kirishima asks Sero, Izuku, and Bakugo to work together and pretty much just beat the living shit out of him to, you know, with his unbreakable form to keep him up stronger. And Izuku's like, nah, sorry, I got my own thing to do. And then Bakugo like kind of like bumps into his shoulder and says, so, have you made any improvement? And Izuku says, not at all. He's like, I thought you were aiming higher than me. Then we get some flashbacks back to earlier on the season with Izuku telling him that that he was trying that, you know, if he forced himself, he can get 20% out of One For All, but he couldn't beat Chisaki, and they need to know how to use One For All on his own. You know, 100% of it all by himself. So then Aoyama comes in again. He says, check this out, Midoriya, and shows him off his special move, which is like pretty much like a pinpoint laser. He does it like twice, and he also writes something out. I don't know what it said. There was no subtitles translating it, so you guess it's as good as unless y'all can read. Tell me if you can read and leave in the comments. And so then he starts feeling sick. Izuku says like, hey, you might take a minute, and he says sure. Then they kind of like get behind some of the rocks, and that's when he asks him, what the hell's going on? And he says that he knows that his quirk is not compatible with his body. Now, I'm sure I was the only one that was like, oh shit, does he know he has One For All? Now, at the same time, I was like, probably not, because Aoyama ain't really that bright, and he's a bit of a pussy, because what we saw from Season 3 earlier on, kind of a bit of a wuss. And then he says that he's just like him, where his quirk isn't compatible with his body because he needs to wear that little like belt that he wears, Aoyama wears. He needs to wear that, otherwise his laser has a tendency to leak out because his quirk isn't compatible with his body like Izuku is with his One For All. And the cheese he left him was just to encourage him because he likes surprises, and he was thinking Izuku would like them as well. So, to recap, this was all just a misunderstanding, man. Aoyama ain't some creep, he ain't some freak, he ain't some creep stalker. And that's pretty much where the episode ends, man, with Izuku and Aoyama kind of becoming friends. So yeah, really fun episode, really enjoyable, loved it. Next, we're beginning stuff with the school festival, which means we're going to start seeing a lot of development with Jiro, which is definitely going to be exciting to see. Definitely like me some Jiro, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing my man Bakugo on the drums. That is going to be lit. We also see Eri a little bit as well. She's regaining conscious, but still hasn't got any visitors because, of her emotional state. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10, guys. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.